Rueibin Chen, a concert pianist with angel fingers in the classical music scene. He started as a child prodigy and won a full scholarship to study at Vienna Conservatory in Austria at the age of 13. He then continued his study under the late legendary Russian pianist Lazar Berman as his only disciple of Asian descent. His unique blend of East-West sensibility, his Chinese heritage, his European upbringing and training, his modest personality, and his inspiring personal story have earned him a significant following all over the world. Rueibin Chen, the icon. Hello and welcome to this edition of Icon. I'm Ji Xiaojun in Beijing, and join me in the studio today is our icon of the day, Chen Rueibin. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to Beijing.
Yeah.
Welcome to Icon. I understand you have a concert actually recently in NCPA.
Yes.
But this is not the first time that you perform in Beijing.
Yeah, I have been here touring with different orchestras here. Yeah, in different places in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and yeah.
You travel a lot.
Yeah.
You were actually born in Taiwan.
Yes. But I'm living to Vienna at the age of 13.
Yeah, you left Taiwan for Vienna for your education at the age of 13.
Yes. I'm growing up in Vienna, and during the 10 years, I never...
You didn't go back to Taiwan.
Yes,
you were living alone in Vienna.
Alone, and during the 10 years, we just got 2 phone calls, in a year.
Each year.
Yeah, with my parents.
How come? And was it because your parents wanted you to be a professional pianist, or was it because they were not able to come to Vienna to visit you, or was it because you were working so hard at the time?
I remember it is I'm just loving music, and when my parents sent me to Vienna with age of 13, and they didn't decide for me. I mean, to be a professional concert pianist. Yeah. But in Vienna, so there are so many cultural activities, and I join every day, and I participate as a candidate with age of 16 for my first time to international piano competitions.
At the age of 13?
Yes. And very fortunately, I won the prize.
All right.
And this is international Rachmaninoff piano competitions.
I see.
So,
but I mean, you were still a teenager. Were you so determined at the time that you wanted to be a professional musician, a concert musician, a pianist?
Well, after competition, yes, I got the opportunity.
You got encouragement.
I got encouragement, and I got opportunities to debut in Vienna in concert house with orchestras.
Right.
And somehow I feel it's I'm still loving music, and probably it's a way that I could be as a concert pianist.
But how did it all start? I mean, what do your parents do?
I can say only one thing: is out of control. Yeah.
Out of control.
Yeah.
It just came naturally.
Yes.
But you have an old piano in your house, right? And a very old one, over 100 years old.
Yeah. Yes. That was bought not for me. Yeah. Actually, that was bought for my uncles. Yeah. And the piano is still it's already there. Yeah. Before
you were born.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
It's still there. Yeah.
And you played on that piano.
It's going to play with a dynasty. Yeah.
3
yeah.
Three
and
dynasties.
At the time, we are living in the countryside of Taiwan.
Yes.
And it's very hard to get a piano. That's why. So my father he went for a doctor, bought a third-hand piano.
A third-hand piano.
Yes.
But it played a very important role in your music career.
Yeah,
That's how you got started.
Yeah, well, we all family are musicians.
Exactly. Yeah. All families, you love music.
All kids are professional musicians, actually.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
My brother plays viola, and my sister also a musician. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's all the influence of your parents.
I think so. Yeah. Because my father is teacher, and he loves music.
All right.
And we have this kind of environment. Yeah.
A similar story anywhere with the Chinese family.
Yes.
When the kids are little, it's almost always, the kids would be
pushed by the parents to
Yeah.
play something. Either it's violin, or it's the piano, or maybe sometimes Chinese traditional musical instruments. Like in your case, it was in the very beginning, it was also pushed by your parents, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
The son of a public school teacher, Chen took up piano at 5 years old and learned instinctively, making his stage debut with the Taipei Symphony Orchestra at age 10. 3 years later, he won a full scholarship and went to study in Vienna, Austria, where he obtained a concert diploma from the Vienna Conservatory. For the next few years, Chen studied unaccompanied at the Vienna Conservatory under a special age requirement waiver. In between classes, the teen struggled to find rice at the supermarket and tried to learn the local language, German. He also looked for suitable places to practice, and it was especially difficult when he was practicing the larger pieces of Rachmaninoff.
Life must be difficult for you at the time as a teenager, starting from the year of 13, and then for about 10 years you were not cared for by your parents, you had to live by yourself. How challenging, tell me, how difficult was it for you at the time?
First of all, German is a language that I never heard in Taiwan.
Language was the first difficulty, the first challenge.
I was not as an adult. Yeah.
You were only a teenager, 13-year-old.
Teenager, so I have, and
did you cry?
No, but when I
seriously,
yes, I cried when I received the phone call from my parents. Yes, it's hard. That's why I really don't want to receive any call and news from parents. But I wrote every week a letter. But when back and forth, it almost took 1 month.
Yeah.
Yes. So and I wrote this letter during the 10 years non-stop. Yeah,
did
this is
you
all
keep
the
those letters?
And no internet, even no fax machine.
That's right.
That's what, yeah, at the time.
Well, there were fax machines, but very expensive. Phone calls were also very expensive.
Yeah, yes.
No internet, not to mention all these mobile phones.
Yeah, I passed this all the challenges, and I went to the competition. I have to manage all the things
yourself.
Of course, yeah. I managing how to travel expense and apply to as a candidate to competitions. Everything. And first time when I went without any words in English because when I went to States, to America, and very likely I also won the competition. I have 2 weeks orchestra, but I mean everything that I managed that since age of 16. So that means I go to competition, and at the same time I also perform at the concert. So that this.
And your families. Your parents, your families, they must be very proud of you.
Hopefully, yes.
They must be very proud of you, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
As a teenager, you tend to want to talk to someone when you have complaints, when you're faced with challenges, frustrations. Who did you turn to at the time?
It's a very, very interesting. I don't know how to explain in English. 做人, okay.
To behave, to be a human being.
Yeah. It's never told from my parents before I left to Taiwan. I lived from Taiwan.
Yes.
I mean, finally, but I know. Oh, okay.
To be a better man.
All everything of the philosophy and yeah.
That's right. I mean, in a Chinese families, the parents, the families, they tend to just teach you what life would be like, what the outside world would be like, but they were not around at the time, so you had to figure out yourself what life would be like for you.
Yes. And one very interesting thing is, well, actually in Vienna it's very hard to find a house for pianists. I mean, to practice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I have so bad experience. So several times I was left from, from our neighborhood. Yeah, because I couldn't practice in piano. I had to leave from house. And after 20 years, I gave a concert in Carnegie Hall in New York. After that, there are men. There's a man with his wife is coming there, and finally I figured out that those people are the people who has bought a house, and that's why I have to leave from house.
All right.
Yeah, but I met those people in New York after 20 years.
You still remember them?
Yeah. So such a
it's a small world, I have to say.
Yeah, this happens in New York. Yeah,
exactly.
In New York.
Tell me about the story between you and your teacher.
We all spent maybe 5-6 hours each time, non-stop, and play whole pieces.
Physically challenging.
Yeah, really. At least Rachmaninoff, I couldn't play after two days.
During Chen's time in Europe, he has learned from some of the best, including the late legendary Russian pianist Lazar Berman, and he was his only disciple of Asian descent. Chen says that these words from his teacher Lazar Berman are the ones that inspired him most. Music is the most wonderful thing in this world. Through music, many possibilities are created. You must transcend challenges and disappointments and persist to the end. It is vital that you truly recognize the beauty of music.
Well, tell me about the story between you and your teacher.
Well,
Lazar Berman?
Berman was my last teacher. Yeah, I remember it is in Tel Aviv. I won the Rubinstein competition, and we have the chance to meet each other. I have the chance to play 2 hours for him, and he was a great maestro, of course, and a very legendary pianist. After 2 hours, he said yes. In his life, he maybe only took the five students. Yeah, and I'm very lucky to be one of his students, and the only one came from Asia. This Stephen, yeah.
Did he tell you why he chose you?
Well, I remember I play a lot of some of the Russian pieces are very like Stravinsky, Rachmaninoff. It's a very tough music, and he seems very interesting to work with me.
And your skills, piano skills.
I think so, yeah, and also musically. So when I started with him, I already as a concert pianist, and him too, of course, he's a great maestro. So we have to. We just met every month, once in a month. Yeah.
You had to travel to.
Yeah. I travel to places
to Moscow,
where he lived, or where he will be. Yeah. We all spend maybe 5-6 hours each time, non-stop, and play whole pieces.
Physically challenging.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's so tough, and after this heavy music. At least Rachmaninoff, I couldn't play after two days, always.
Yeah, Rachmaninoff's music, his work is known for all these physically challenging pieces, right?
Yeah. And my teacher's teacher, Golden Weiser was a classmate with Rachmaninoff.
He's a Russian pianist, a Russian master, and you're his student, but at the same time you're also studying in Vienna at the time. Have you compared actually different schoolings, different piano styles, and how different are they?
This is a very, very interesting thing there. So I have been studying in Austria, German, French,
exactly,
and Italy. Yeah,
all different places, different styles, I guess.
Yeah, yes. I have the opportunity to study with different maestros. Yeah, when I was young, a lot of museum, yeah, gallery, yeah, and this is also very important. And when we have the discuss with all peoples, we always talk about culture. So, and that is the thing that I never learned in Taiwan before I left. You know, the culture and the dynasty of the Europe. So, I always felt this is it's a very, very important if you want to be really a great artist. So the culture seems to be in your blood. Yeah. Yeah.
You're saying you have to study culture before you can understand music.
Yes.
In a better way.
Yeah. Yes.
Have you also compared, say, the different piano styles in Russia, in China, and in Western Europe? Say, how different are they?
Vienna is kind of, well, maybe it's like Beijing or like Moscow.
Melting pot. Okay.
Yeah. There's you can see it. I mean, 6 months without sunning, right? And even when you play Rachmaninoff, so Rachmaninoff left in his second life. I mean, he spent all the time in Beverly Hills in LA. He never have chance to go back to Russia. And somehow in his music, you can feel this that not only virtuos, not only demanding on music. I mean, the very not only patient. This is somehow you don't have chance to go back to Moscow. And same to Chopin. Kind of composers is always meaningful for me because I mean, yeah, I never met my parents for more than 10 years. Yeah.
Yellow River Concerto, and this piece is so familiar to Chinese music lovers, and so many pianists, so many musicians, they've played this piece in China and around the world.
I just want to try to find a story and yeah, into these concertos. Yeah.
You find your own connection with that piece.
Yeah, I think not only connections, and I mean the whole stories between these 30, 40 years. Yeah.
In addition to his solo recitals and orchestral performances of classical repertoire, Chen has devoted much of his time to his new solo and piano concerto works, such as the Love River Concerto, which depicts his fondness for a famous river in Taiwan. His unique blend of East-West sensibility, his Chinese heritage, his European upbringing and training, his modest personality, and his inspiring personal story have earned him a significant following all over the world.
And I guess your story has also happened to so many numerous pianists and musicians. Wherever you go, we will hear actually similar stories. And for the very beginning, you'll have to fight for a place in the world, in the music world. But luckily, you got out. How does it feel now to be on the stage, to be recognized as a professional concert pianist, musician?
If you ask me, so as a concert pianist, I really say so. I'm music lover. Yeah, a concert pianist. Yeah.
You're just a music lover.
Yeah, because I love music. Yeah, and that's why I love to play on stage and share music with the audience. Yeah, yeah. If you ask me, so if it's any difference if I play for one person or for 2,000 or for 20,000 people. Yeah, I have experience like 6 months before I play in America in the biggest outdoor venue called Hollywood Bowl. Mm-hmm. It's the most famous outdoor venue. Beatles, they have also played there, performed there, and I have a chance to play the Yellow River Concerto.
Yellow River Concerto.
Yes, and that was also the first time for a European, such as the first steel orchestra to perform with this piece, and I just feel so proud, as a Chinese to play this piece, and especially I saw, I saw some of the orchestra members. They were Chinese, and after the performance they cried, and they said they have been performed at the orchestra for 20 years, but they never saw this one day they can play his own piece on this stage for the mainstream audience in America. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, Yellow River Concerto, and this piece is so familiar to Chinese music lovers, and so many pianists, so many musicians, they've played this piece in China and around the world.
I just want to try to find a story and into these concertos. Yeah.
You find your own connection.
Yeah,
with that piece.
Yeah. I think not only connections, and I mean the whole stories between these 30, 40 years. Yeah, what has been changed with Chinese people.
I mean, it must be so challenging for you because this piece is so familiar to Chinese music lovers. They know every tune, and so many established musicians have also played this, and it seems everyone is expecting something when you play this piece.
Now I'm trying to be kind of a cultural ambassador, so between East and West. Yeah, and I hope I can be one of the bridge, to connect with, through this Chinese culture for East and West. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite composer yourself in your heart?
Yeah, some of them, but time to time I change.
You change?
Yeah.
But who have been on your list?
Oh, well, I'm always thinking if I love this piece and I can interpret well, this piece, then I love this composer. Okay. Yeah, but there's already time to time changed. I love Rachmaninoff. I love Brahms. And Beethoven, Chopin. Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Because once in your previous interviews you've mentioned that you've always put a special place in your heart for works of Rachmaninoff. Is it still like that?
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing because I heard a lot of things from my teacher, Lassa Berman, of course, because his teacher is a classmate with Gordon Weiss, is classmate with Rachmaninoff, and they together went to study with his cousin. So Rachmaninoff has spent a second life in the Beverly Hills in LA, and I had the chance to play in LA last year in the Performing Arts Center, in the new Performing Arts Center. It's an inaugural season as a soloist, and I got 2 evenings with sold-out recitals. Yeah, and last year was the Rachmaninoff's 140th anniversary, and I also had a chance to premiere his Three Nocturne when he was composed with age of 13. And I have premiered here in Asia and in America, and also in Hong Kong last year. Yeah.
What about yourself? And what kind of musician do you want to be?
Like to be an artist than a pianist. Yes.
What do you mean? What's the difference in your mind?
And behind the stage, I can do many things. Also, for charities, which I love to do it. Yes, and also premiere for piano concertos, which I did in several pieces. I did in Lincoln Center in New York, I have for me, I mean, this kind of Chinese concertos.
That's right.
Yeah, and in Australia, I think I remember it in Sydney Opera House. Yeah, in Melbourne, in Hong Kong. Yeah.
You mentioned charity. Are there any
Yes.
projects you're now involved in?
With kind of crossover music. I brought I formed it as a group with Chinese traditional instrument, and I brought here from Asia to America, and we all play the Chinese music. Yeah, with great access, and we got a very good review. Next day, you know, the LA Times has wrote it's really very very meaningful because we did this concept has really explored, you know, between Chinese and American communities.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you play a lot Chinese music when you play overseas?
Yes, kind of transcriptions and some of Chinese pieces here with our composer came from China and from Taiwan both. Yeah.
Yeah. When you play those Chinese pieces, do you play it? Do you include that on your list intentionally, or is it just it just so happens?
Of course, Yellow River is one of the very very important pieces. I mean, piano concerto, but this is almost like 70 years before, 75 years last year. Yes, for Chinese Yellow Rivers. Yeah, I think it's very important. We still need a new composition, new piano concertos. Yeah, to continue our cultures in the classical music story. Well, I love this piece. I remember it is, I play in different places, and you know this piece is also of the music for the film Somewhere in Time, and I got a chance 2 years before to perform this piece in States, and I met the actress Jane Seymour herself. Yeah, and she came to my concert, and it was so meaningful, and you know, this is and I love this composer because I have the chance like 5-6 years before, yeah, so to play the whole complete piano concertos by Rachmaninoff. Yeah.
And I guess your life pattern now would be flying from one city to another, flying from one concert to another. Is it what you expected when you were 13, when you first started your musical journey, say, in Vienna?
Well, it's a hard job, but I love it. Yeah, it's also a very interesting job, and I know more people. I met good friends, and every time when I come back here in Asia or come back here in Beijing, and I love it. I could speak Mandarin, and I know the food since long time that I miss this, and I miss the good friends here, and yeah.
It's hard work, but you love it. That's what's important. That's what matters. Once again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming to the studio.